All right, here we go. This one's going to be a 40 Smith & Wesson test. Today we have some more atomic ammo to try out. So for that one, it is the 155 grain jacketed hollow point. There's what that thing looks like. It's just your standard XTP stuff down that case. It does have your nickel plated brass and is rated at 1275 feet per second. So we'll see how close we come today. So we do have two different barrel lengths to test it out of today. So for a short barrel, that one is our Glock 27. That one does have that 3.42 inch barrel. And for our full size, we do have our Beretta 96 FS. That one does have that 4.9 inch barrel. So we'll be going through our gel. Those are our 10% calibrated blocks. Do have our catch block behind that, so a total 22 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front, and like always, we'll set up our chronograph so we can hopefully pick up those impact velocities. So let's set up and see how this round does. All right, we're setting back up 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. All right, so it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1229. So once again, that is awesome to see. Rated was 1275, and out of that short barrel, that's definitely pretty impressive. All right, so there's the entry. Looks like you got a really good hit. You can see right down that cavity and a pretty big star pattern so far. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, definitely not too bad. So you can see as soon as that thing came in, opened up really nicely. There's a lot of disruption there. Nice spiral cuts going through. Did settle down just a little bit towards the end, and we did actually make it into that second block, so that is always good to see, especially for that little bit of a lighter bullet there. So let's see if we can get a measurement here, a widest spot. Like always, we'll cut this open for a cross sections later, get a little bit more accurate measurement, but it looks like we are right at 3 inches. So that's definitely really good. You know, especially for that 40 and that super short barrel. That is awesome to see. So let's check it out here from the side. So it looks like pretty much same thing. As soon as that thing came in, it looks like it started to frag pretty quick. You can see those little chunks of lead in there. Really nice disruption in there though. You can see where it did start to settle down just a little bit. Looks like there's a little bit more lead there at the end of that track. And then we did start to flatline and make it into that second block. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here from the side. Looks like this one is pretty much exactly the same, right? That 3 inch mark. So like I said, really good to see, especially for that, you know, 40. And there is that round. Hopefully you guys can see that is facing away from us. And at our leading edge there, let's see, we are right at 4.5 inches. So that made it a total of 15.5 inches of penetration. So very good to see. So we're going to set up for that second shot and see how that one does. All right, we're setting back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. All right, so it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1384. Man, that is awesome to see. That's up there with some pretty good SIG rounds, and definitely a lot heavier bullet. Rated was 1275, so man, that got over 114 feet per second more than advertised, and that was that full size, you know, 4.9 inch barrel. So that is awesome to see. All right, so there's the entry. Hopefully you guys are able to see this, man. It looks like we got an awesome hit. Check out that star pattern from the front. That is insane. You can see fragmentation already, but that is awesome to see. Excuse me. This one, just from the initial hit, it looks like we're going to have to stock up on this one, man. Regardless if it's an XTP or not, that is some awesome damage. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, check that out. So it is, of course, this track here on the left. You can see as soon as that thing came in, looks like it exploded. You can see that kind of fragmentation, kind of star patterning right there at the beginning. Huge spiral cuts carrying through. You can see it did settle down just a little bit towards the end. And we actually did make into that second block and quite a ways too. But man, that is crazy. That is a ton of damage. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to measure the main channel, and then I'll measure with these extra petals kind of shearing off. So at our widest spot there, we are at 3¼ inches with that, you know, with the main chunk of that track. And then with that fragmentation, man, that definitely adds quite a bit more. We are at a little over 4¼ inches. So man, that is super impressive. I'm already a big fan of that. That is cool. All right, so let's check it out here from the side, and hopefully you guys can see that. So pretty much same thing. That thing came in, started fragmenting really quick. You can see those pieces of lead right there at the edge of that block. Ton of damage going through. You can see it did carry it pretty much the whole way. Maybe that last inch or so, it did start to settle down just a little bit. We did make it into that second block. So super impressive for sure. So let's see at our widest spot. Here we are at 2½, and with those petals that are shearing off, we're right at 3 inches. So a little bit less from the side than the top, but man, can't say enough already. That is I'm impressed with that one. Those numbers are great. And there is that round. It is this one here on the top. It is facing upward, and at our leading edge there, we are right at the 5-inch mark. So that made it a total of 16 inches of penetration. So that is great to see. So let's check these tracks one more time from the top. So the one on the right was that first shot and that short barrel, and the one on the left is that full size and the second shot. So here is that Glock 27 shot. You see as soon as that thing hit, started to open up really nicely. Got some pretty major disruption for sure. Nice spiral cuts going through. See, it did settle down just a little bit towards the end. Didn't make it into that second block. It is that round there on the top. And here is that second shot. Man, that is crazy. So it came in, opened up really nicely. You can see all that fragmentation all over the place already. Carrying that energy pretty much the whole way through. Then you can see where it did flatline a little bit, and man, we did make it into that second block too. It is that one on the top, and a pretty good wave. So good stuff for sure. So let's pull these rounds and see what they look like. All right, check these things out. Looks like they both got some really awesome expansion. So the one on the right was that Glock 27. One on the left was that full-size Beretta 96. And so here is that first bullet. Absolutely picture perfect expansion there. Really, really wide. You can see those petals peeled back perfectly. And you can see quite a bit of gel stuff down in there. But man, that is very impressive, especially with those numbers too out of that short barrel. That is awesome to see, man. Very, very impressed with this ammo for sure. And we just did that 380 test right before this, and same thing, man. Just great numbers for sure. So here is that second one, that full size. Once again, absolutely picture perfect expansion. See that mushroom back really nice. This one I had enough velocity to get those petals and peel them right over that base. And this thing is jam-packed with gel. But man, check that out. Big old slug for sure. I was at that high velocity, I was kind of expecting to come apart. But man, that is really good to see. So we'll check these out one time from the bottom. So one on the right was that short barrel, one on the left was that full size. And last time from the top. So like I always do, guys, I'll get our still shot slow-mo and everything else here at the end. But once again, that was the Atomic 155 grain jacketed hollow point, basically just your standard XTP. And we did test it out of the short barrel Glock 27 and the full size Beretta 96 FS. So thanks for watching, guys. All right, so there's that cross section for that Glock 27 shot. You can see we definitely got some really big splits down in there. You can see a little bit of that fragmentation. Same on this side, huge cuts all the way down in there. So I did remeasure these. They are peaking right at the 3-inch mark and averaging right at the 2 3/4. So that is awesome to see, especially for that little bit shorter barrel. So let's cut them open. All right, so here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side and this top is the left. So you can see pretty much as soon as that thing came in, right at that 1/4 inch mark, started to open up. You can see that huge path going all the way through. A little bit of fragmentation, but check that out. We have some huge cuts. Did drag in some cotton t-shirt, but man, that is crazy, the amount of damage. And that thing was going over 1,200 feet per second, so it's kind of expected, but not expected at the same time, because you know it's hard to get rated velocity or even close to it with anything these days. So that atomic is definitely loaded right. So same on that top, came in, opened up. You can see that path once again going all the way through. Same thing, just huge deep cuts. This stuff is barely hanging on down here, but man, that is some nasty stuff for sure. And like I said, you know, it's just basically your standard XTP, but you know, when you push them to those kind of velocities, they are definitely pretty impressive. So here it is one more time from a little bit different angle, just so you can see what's going on. Check this side out. That is some nasty stuff. But there we go. That one was that Glock 27 shot. All right, and here's that cross section for that full-size Beretta 96. This one was kind of a whole different story. You can see this was some huge splitting fragments all over the place. It did have that cool kind of you know, entry pattern where it kind of where it literally just went in and blew up. Just kind of looked like a really nice star pattern. Super impressive for sure. And so I did remeasure these. So with those extra petals that are, you know, way out here, they're peaking right at 4 1/4. And then, you know, with the main channel, it's still averaging right at that 3 1/4. So that is super impressive. That thing was moving almost 1,400 feet per second. So that was awesome to see, you know, over 100 feet per second more than advertised. So that is just super great. You don't see that hardly ever anymore. So let's cut these open. All right, so here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side and this top is the left. So you can see pretty much as soon as that thing came in right at that 1/4 inch mark, it pretty much exploded right there. You can see those kind of shoots going off where those petals went everywhere. Did drag in a little bit of that t-shirt, and definitely you can see all those little lead petals in there, lead chunks. But that thing blew up. There is a little bit of black fabric. Like I always say, I do mark it with a black Sharpie, and that was a pretty direct hit. So it did drag that stuff in. But that is some crazy damage for sure. That was almost 700 foot-pounds out of that 40, so that was very impressive. And same on this top, came in. You can see that track, that, you know, channel going through. And same thing, just deep, massive cutting, a little bit more fragmentation, and just major damage. So that one's definitely going to be added to my stockpile for sure, because that's some nasty stuff. And the amount of power, you know, even out of that short barrel was super impressive. Crazy stuff. So it's good to see that, you know, there's a company out there besides like, you know, Underwood and Double Tap and all that are actually loading stuff right. So Atomic is a big thumbs up for me for sure. But you can see one more quick angle. Huge splits, man. That is just crazy amount of damage. And I love 40 for sure. That's probably one of my second favorite calibers besides, you know, SIG. I do love all the oddballs like 41 mag and stuff, but, you know, for carry, you know, SIG, 357 SIG and 40 are tops for sure for me. But check that out. Crazy stuff. I would not want to be in front of that round. But man, that is crazy. All those little tiny pieces of lead in there. But there we go, guys. That one was that 155 grain XTP loaded by Atomic. Thanks again for watching.